Does the butt big represent certain abilities, especially for fertility? Let's talk about why the elders always feel that the girl with big buttocks is good. In the past, this seems to be an important criterion for choosing a daughter-in-law. From a scientific perspective, women's hips can sometimes reflect the content of fat in the body. Adolescent girls have a body fat rate of 17 to have normal estrogen synthesis, usher in the initial menstrual tide, and start ovulation every month. If adult women's body fat rate is less than 22, menstruation may be irregular, affecting ovulation. And the combination of sperm and eggs, so the body fat rate is low to a certain extent, and it is difficult to conceive. This is like cooking with rice. If there is no egg, the rice, what about pregnancy? This is a bit of a shadow of big buttocks and easy pregnancy. After all, fat people are usually big butt, and fat and fertility have a bit related to the ability to have a bit. But don't just think that the growth ability of the butt will be good. In fact, too fat, that is, too much fat, will destroy women's endocrine and hinder ovulation. And those diseases brought by obesity, such as hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, may also make women not be pregnant. Therefore, the more fat, the larger the buttocks, the better. Let's talk about big buttocks, easier to give birth to baby. Some people think that the buttocks are large and the fetus is easy to come out when the delivery. But in fact, the size of the butt is determined by the pelvis and the gluteal muscles covered on it in fat. Some people's buttocks are just because of large fat or developed gluteal muscles, and pelvis is not necessarily large. In this case, it is not good for production. In addition, butt life not only depends on the pelvis, but also has something to do with the shrinkage of the uterus, the age of the maternal physical fitness, usually exercise, and the size of the fetus, head circumference, fetal position, etc. If the maternal strength, nervousness, or chronic disease itself, even the pelvis is wide, it may have to have a Caesarean section. Therefore, the pelvis is not the only indicator of good life, let alone simple butt. There is also the saying that big buttocks easy to give birth to boys. That's really unreasonable. There are only X chromosomes in women, and men have X and Y chromosomes. The fetal gender is determined at the moment of the sperm and eggs. The probability of a boy and a woman is half, and it has nothing to do with the size of a woman's ass. In fact, the butt is mainly used for shit, farting, and sitting. Don't always pull it with fertility. Big buttons small, but are mainly the difference in figure. Although the plump buttocks may look sexy, sisters do not do something to hurt the body for a big butt, such as pinching the buttocks. In order to have hips, some girls often deliberately stand up and back, and they are prone to pelvic. The pelvis has a protective support for the internal organs and genitals. The pelvis is deforming. The organs such as the uterus, ovaries, gastrointestinal, and other organs will be affected. Moreover, the pelvic deformation will increase the burden on the femoral joint, make the leg shape unsightly, and the muscles may decline. The pelvis is leaning forward, and the pressure of the lumbar spine increases, which will compress the waist nerve to cause low back pain. After a long time, the muscles on the back of the waist are stiff, the blood is not smooth, and the shoulders will hurt. If you stand for a long time, the pain will be more severe. So sometimes the sore shoulder may be poured forward, but it is not improper. We have to understand that we must not judge a person's fertility or other abilities from the size of the buttocks. This is unscientific. To maintain a healthy lifestyle, eat reasonably and exercise appropriately. This is good to be good, rather than entangled things on the surface of the buttocks. Be as I'll remember.